So welcome to the company, where we have good company at the company.
There you go.
Today we have Mars Parker.
Yes, sir.
What's the second company? Like, what is it? So the first company is the podcast. Then the company in the middle is the people that we kick it with.
And then maybe their company, like their business.
Their business, yeah. That's what I meant there.
Yeah. That's why we try to say three, because
Welcome to the company.
we're really get known.
We have good company at the company.
We have good company
With company.
with the company, and then talk about his company
All right.
or what he does. So that's the thing.
Me, I just, get money and fuck bitches. And it's like,
All day, every
it's a
day.
God talent, So, it has to be in you, not on you. You feel me?
I think we're live, right?
Oh, shit. Are we filming?
You know what I was thinking about? That's funny. They're gonna see like a whole moment of me just having a fucking existential crisis, bro. Like,
They're like, why would you call the company if you don't know what it means?
yeah,
Like,
this is what happens. This is the process behind it.
That's how you work it out.
I was just thinking, what's it called? Like the whole, like, we're in the business of building companies. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Whether that's like actual business environment or it's just some friendship shit. So I don't know. Run that intro back. We'll cut that whole section and get it for clips.
God, yeah.
Welcome to the company, where we have good company at the company, inside the company.
now we're just doing tongue
The
twisters.
third one was a little messed up. But
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. Let's run it. Look, welcome back. All right, we got another episode. We don't have an intro yet. We might figure one out one of these days. But you guys aren't here for the intro. What you're here for is the man himself. Welcome, Mr. Mars Parker. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How you guys doing,
How you
man?
doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
This has to be one of the funniest podcasts. Like, if it's not, like, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, nah,
If you
it's a lot of
roast
pressure.
Me, we'll go ahead and roast
No,
me.
it's I'm gonna just let God
roast
speak through me. I'm just a vessel.
Why you say that? Now anything that come out of your mouth, God, it's ordained.
I'm tapped in, baby. It's my God.
Nah, man, but hey, give yourself a little introduction.
Yeah, absolutely. Mars Parker, comedian extraordinaire. Sex symbol. Really big in the technology world. Everything. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be here.
Bro, say he the next Steve Jobs. Like, that's what's up. That's what's up.
More Steve Jobs, Kanye West. I'm somewhere in between that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Sacramento's finest. Y'all have probably seen a couple of his videos talking about the Kings and Warriors series. How you feeling about that right now?
I'm feeling good. Right now, we're down 3-2 to the bitch ass. Can we cuss on it? To the bitch ass Warriors. But Sacramento, we never give up. You know what I mean? It's been 16 years. You think we're gonna give up being down 3-2?
Is this where I expose what you told me off the pod?
No, we don't talk about that. 'Cause off the pod is off the pod, bro. We gotta enjoy what's happening right now and in the moment.
No, I guess my first question is kind of surrounding that, bro. Like, where does love for Sacramento come from?
You know what? Honestly, it came from like people always dissing the city. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like make sure I say it. I feel like there's this stigmatism in Sacramento where people agree with each other that, there's nothing to do here. Sacramento's like this fucking slow city. It's this cow town. But I always have been like against the grain, and I just hearing that so much, I decided to like try to feel what I actually enjoy out here and really take a look at the city. And there's a beautiful city. The community is here. I've lived in LA, I've lived in Vegas, and although there's hella opportunities and crazy things to do, you don't feel like you're part of anything. You're just there. You know what I mean? You're actually just like a transplant, for real. And I feel like Sacramento, the title of Sacktown feels real because it's a big ass city. There's millions of people here, but it feels like a town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So the love is genuine. I've been out here since high school to college to now my adult years, and it's just this is my city. I love it.
That's what's up. Yeah, I think that town analogy is crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a big city, but it does feel like everybody knows.
It's one person away. That's all. I feel like everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business, for good and for bad. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it can be worse, but sometimes it can be beautiful because you might want to go tap in with somebody, and now I know Josh, so now I can get tapped in with this person. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting.
Definitely. I'll say when I first came here, I was like, because when you grow up in the Bay, they call Sacramento Wackamento.
Niggas hate it.
But no disrespect.
I don't want nobody to think I'm laughing at that. I was like, I heard this little crunching in the background, and I look up, and Robert is just go for the good though. Mumbo, where you said, bro?
Growing up the Bay, they call Sacramento Wacramento.
Word?
And
that's crazy.
When I came out here, everyone was like, bro, why are you going there? Why are you going to school there? Even my dad hates Sacramento.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But now, like, I came here and you explore, you get to know the people, you get to know the community. You're like, Sacramento is actually unique.
It's unique for sure.
It's unique in a way that, as you said, it is a city, but it's literally just a big town.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're back at your neighborhood almost. Like
yeah,
you walk the streets, you see someone that you know. You know.
Nah, I'm gonna say like, number one, I have bad history with SF, so I won't even really speak on SF. Like, I don't know what the hype is about this city. But I'll say like with SAC, I definitely felt the love off rip. It felt like you get rewarded for actually building out communities and relationships out here.
100%.
Like I think it was random, bro. Like I feel like I know you, but I can't even remember how we met or nothing.
No, it goes back to the town analogy. Like someone said, "Oh, that's Josh. He's cool," and then I got to meet you somewhere out, and just from somebody else saying that, now it legitimizes. So of course I wanted to talk to you. Then we talk, and now it's like we're doing a fucking podcast.
Facts.
It's like how crazy this city will allow some shit like that to happen. That's one of my favorite things about it. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not too far away from meeting the mayor. You know what I mean?
Real shit,
it's interesting. And can I also just say, Wacramento is a horrible dish. Like
I know.
You guys could do better. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mouthful. Wacramento. It's like, bro. It's this unnecessary but necessary beef that I feel towards the Bay. Because it's like, why y'all want to diss us for? We don't have nothing to do with y'all. We're not near the water. We don't care. I don't know where this idea of everybody's like saying like people from Sacramento claim they're from the Bay or they want to be the Bay. You couldn't be in two totally different places. You know what I mean? Like you come here and you feel this isn't the Bay. It's hot as fuck. It's hot as fuck. People here are legitimately authentic. You know what I mean? Like people will welcome you into their homes out here. You ain't getting none of that stuff. I promise you that right now. So yeah, Wacramento. Okay. That really stuck a nerve.
I will say the one thing I hear about SAC though is that you shouldn't date nobody from SAC.
Yeah. No. I mean, if you do, you're basically dating the whole city. This is a big ass city of exes, and it's something that everybody knows, and we just are cool with. Like everybody's exes. It goes back to that town feeling. Like it's small, but I also look at it like this: the cream rises to the top. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to hang out with the cream. So of course you guys everybody's in the same dating pool.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. Or it's tiers, and you dating your tier level. So it's weird. It's interesting.
I'm kind of mad because it'd be like 3 dudes with access to like the top 30. Like, bro, that's wild. Like, and then you got the Golden Water Arena in the center
right
of town. You see her courtside, and you know she gone. Like,
yes.
Oh, sorry.
I've definitely had my heart broken a few times walking through the door. I'm like, damn, she with him now. He Ella Wackerman.
That's crazy. I wonder if that's gonna catch on.
Oh, I'm about to make a shirt for sure. From Wackerman to the Bay, baby. Damn, I just thought about a crazy joke for that. You gonna
say that? So hey, actually shout that out right now. What you got going on tomorrow?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got some shows coming up. Tomorrow I'm at the Guild Theater in Oak Park, the historic Guild Theater. It's a black-owned theater, one of the last ones, and it's with Drew Burks. We have Jay Lamont coming through and Mo Jones. June 5th, I'm down in San Diego at the Laugh Factory. And then June 25th, I am in Anaheim for VidCon, which is like a fucking creator content spot. I'm gonna go there and do some comedy and also probably make some content. So, picking up some steam, doing some stuff.
Do you prepare yourself before these shows? Like, do you have like a...
Yeah, for sure.
You got like a plan?
Yeah, I typically, and a lot of people don't know this, but I have like a set, but I like to like keep stuff fresh. So I like to work on jokes either 48 hours or 24 hours before the show, just because I want to do like relevant content that's happening in the world, but also wherever I'm at. Like if I'm in a different city, I want to like get tapped in with like what's the spots here? Where's the real spots? Not like tourist stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if we were talking about like Old Tavern or Golden Bear, and I wasn't from Sacramento. the rest of the city will, is relatable. So
My eyes just went blank. I don't know.
y'all don't go to bed.
I'm
gonna show this. I'm gonna show Josh around the real Sacramento, not the downtown. I'm gonna show you Midtown where it really gets crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to work on my material like typically like right before the show. I'm really good at like memorizing hella quick stuff. So it's repetition. My girl thinks I'm crazy because I'll just be repeating. It's one of those weird art forms where you can only practice for real in front of the audience. So it's hard to really practice. You just gotta live life and pick up some stuff and jot it down. And then, I come from the background of improv. I went to Academy of Art in San Francisco and did theater out there, and I joined the improv team out there, and that's really what got my hunger for doing stand-up.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah, I had to go Beyonce on them and just left the group. Too good for y'all. And I tried it out one time, and ever since then, I've never looked back. You know what I mean?
That's how you said that's how you started in the whole comedy.
Hell, I started in theater, and then started doing improv. Because of theater classes, part of it, the practice was like we'd have improv Friday. So we're just doing. I don't know if you guys ever been to an improv show, but it's basically just like essentially like games and stuff. You're just doing like these little skits and these little games, and going from there, I was able to like make like my teachers laugh. And when you're making like the class is laughing, cool. Your peers, you can say stupid stuff, but my teachers, they picked up on it, and they was like, you should try stand up for real. And I did it out here for my first time at Dive Bar, randomly. I bombed hella bad. I was so drunk I don't even remember though, so it was cool. But I videotaped it. I told myself like, after watching, I was like, oh, I know at least I'm never gonna do that bad again. And that's the whole game, is like you get to see yourself do bad and then you get to progress. So it's no real thing of failure, you know what I mean?
No, I'll say for sure, like you got a lot of love though, like for some of the audience that might not know, like bro, every one of your friends I feel like supports you.
Nah, that's love though. That's really big for me. It's like I consider my friends like family. And I try to be authentic. That's really big for me, is to be authentic when I'm like talking with someone or having a moment or out at the bar. Like I try not to be like too cool for school. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like people can come across that way, and I never want that to be like my impression when I leave with people. And I feel like it's reciprocated. And so hearing you say that makes it feel good for me.
Nah, you're doing your thing, man. You're doing your thing for sure. Because I'm like, I was talking to Tony about it too. I'm like, I can see that you guys have been really intentional with the community that you guys are building, and being able to touch in so many different like spaces, but then still keep it authentic. It's not like you're trying to jump into a space that you don't fit at. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Everybody gets in where they fit in, and then you kind of run that lane. I think that's dope, bro.
I feel for me the biggest thing, and I hope Tony harped on it before, but I really enjoy like seeing someone overcome something, or overcome a fear when they really want to try something, whether it be stand-up or podcasting or writing, whatever your creativity. I don't ever want to see people like let that dim down. So however I can assist or help them out, like that shit's real for me. And it's been that way. Meeting Robbie, Tony, Damien, Byron, the whole Hall of Fame crew, we all felt that same way. And meeting like-minded people and then developing a crew together can ask for a better team, you know what I mean? So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy like 13, 14 years.
13, 14 years.
The fact that I've known these crazy motherfuckers that long has been crazy.
That's dope. So how would you say, like where you came and started, and then out where you're at now? Yeah. Like, would you say like, how would you push yourself to challenge yourself even more?
That's a great question. Like, the comedy game is a slow burn, and I believe that. Like, some people, they strike young, and they just, like, blow up, and that was never gonna be, because I had a lot of maturing to do. So when I started out, I just wanted to have fun with it. Everything I do in life, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to be nowhere where I'm not having fun, even for 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I wasn't having fun with it, I wasn't gonna do it, but I still had maturing to do. So those first 10 years from like 20 to 30, I was, playing around with it, finding my voice, trying to build my confidence up. Like I might go on stage, but you're still working on your confidence constantly. Like I don't care what you say. Any person that goes on stage, you're working on your confidence. You want people to believe that you are what you're saying. So for that first 10 years, I could say it was ups and downs. I had some crazy shows, like at Memorial Auditorium with DeMarcus Cousins for his Boogie Comedy Slam. That was like one of my second shows, and it was like 5,000 people. And I did that, and you do that shit, you're like, I fucking made it. I'm that guy now. And then, every show ain't gonna be 5,000 people. So I felt like I took a step back, but I learned from that, and I have ups and downs from like doing other shows. I had big opportunities where I was running a show for like 2 years that I created with Robbie called What the Fuck Wednesdays, and it ended up like really blowing up, and we had big names come through, but then the place where we were doing that show, it falls down, and you don't control it because you don't own the building. So it's just been a rocky road, but I could say I'm 34 now, from 30 to my 30. I know,
I thought you was a youth.
It's that energy. I got you.
Kids are so young, bro.
I got youthful energy, but from 30 to 34, I just turned 34. I'm technically 33. Calm down. But from 30 to 34, I feel like I matured, and everything has like picked up significantly. Like I'm getting bigger shows. I'm actually working with like people with really in the industry. I'm taking it serious, you know what I mean? And I'm enjoying the journey even more now.
So that's my question for you, because I think there's a thin line between like having fun and taking it seriously, and then being able to do both. Yeah. What do you think is that taking it seriously? Like, how do you define that? Taking
it serious to me is like honoring your commitments. If you get booked for a show, showing up, whether it be at a bar or at a club
or at a concert,
at a memorial, you gotta show up. And also for me, it was a big thing for me. I drank a lot when I would perform, and I thought I was doing but you're never gonna be as good as you are. If you can't do comedy sober, then you can't really do comedy. You just a drunk nigga telling jokes.
And laughing yourself.
And loving yourself like I'm like. But that was a big thing for me, is taking it more seriously, being able to do back-to-back shows, being able to show up on time, being able to have these conversations where the trust is there, and building that trust was a big thing for me, for real.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good outline for it. 'Cause I think when people say taking it seriously, like it's always, everybody comes to that point, but I don't think a lot of people talk about what that really looks like. I think what you laid out is like being true to yourself, and like what you says you're gonna do, follow through with that.
And that shit, that matters, especially in the industry of like, you want to be booked for shows. People have to trust that you're gonna show up, and they have to trust you're gonna come there and deliver, because you're only as good as your last show. And I believe that in my heart. Like, I can't rest on like shows that I killed back 2 years or months ago. It's like, what are you gonna do now, and having that trust, I respect it, and I want to keep that. So that keeps me being serious about it, because I want to keep leveling up, and I want to get bigger shows. I want to fucking tour, and you can't go on tour if people can't trust you to show up. So it's serious now, but it's still jokes. So you gotta have fun with it. It's still making me laugh. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember, what's it called? Like, one of the things that I respected was how after the whole NLE thing, you followed up with me, and me and you kind of talked through the whole process, because like that was my first time throwing an event, and then I remember, like, I didn't know nobody in the city, but I'm like, all right, who would be good to like be an MC, whatever, and I reached out. And then I'm like, nah, damn, these niggas don't fuck with me. They don't respect me at all.
No, it wasn't even. First of all, I want to give you your flowers for that, because that show, from what it was potentially going to be with the NLE, it was going to be him and like 13 people watching it perform at this big ass warehouse. And y'all flipped that into a packed out show. I just remember watching it from the VIP room and like looking over at just a sea of people. I'm like, this is a beautiful show. However, the background of it, the people who were really it was chaos.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
that threw me off, because I'm like, I don't even really know who to talk to, who's my point of contact. And so, like you said, I'm really glad we got to talk about how that experience was and just iron that out, because that's not a representation of who I am, The fact that I showed up there meant I was ready to do the work, but it didn't happen. So.
And that was the same thing for me as well too. I was like, like I didn't have enough things like set in place. I was trying to juggle like 40
you was wearing a lot of hats for sure.
And it's like doing that as a first time out. And this was like my first time working with Stevie, first time working with
That was your first time working with Stevie? I thought y'all had been like locked, bro. That's
like,
crazy.
Everybody just met like all around that time, and we was just like, whatever, like, let's run something up. But it was cool, man. It was good times. For sure.
Nah, that's how you make history though. Like, you guys did something that it might not in the big scale matter to other people, but y'all succeeded on something that could have been chaotic, and now you have a legendary mark to where you can move forward and trust each other and do other stuff. Like, I was super impressed, and hearing you say that was your first time, like, you guys did something that your peers are going to look to you like, nah, they got their shit together. They know what they're doing, and that's the respect you want. That's how H12 started. We threw a warehouse party that went crazy, ended up doing like 2,000 people. And the legend started from there.
What?
Everybody just now you got to go to an HF party. You know what I mean?
Fact, no, kind of run me through that a little bit, because I know I got like, I think what would be cool is having like kind of a segment of videos that kind of outline like what Hoff is.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Like all the different.
Man, I jumped in the Hoff. I jumped in the Hoff like 2010. After they were already doing their thing, but then I met Tony, and me and Tony just clicked. I mean, I met him, we were about to throw a party at like this girl house that I was messing with at the time, and he ended up like, he was messing with her cousin or something, and we just met. He was like, you wanna come with me to make jungle juice? And we went to the store to buy the ingredients for jungle juice, and the rest was history. But it started off as a party company. They would throw these parties at these houses. This was like in 2007 when the housing market crashed, so it was really nowhere to party. But they were throwing these wild ass like Project X parties, and I would go and have a good. And the thing about it, like Tony and them curated these vibes to where like you went there, you could be a black person, white person, this, that, and the third, but everybody wanted to just party with each other. It was no like clicking or like, oh, I'm not gonna mesh. It's just like a beautiful vibe, and I wanted to be part of that, So I just kept going. I just kept rocking with him, and then I met Robbie. His ass was DJing downstairs at this house party, and nobody was watching the DJ. Like, everybody was outside at the other DJ, and he was killing this shit. And I was like, I just stayed there with him and rocked with him all night. Nice. Like, we was just vibing though. It was just me and him, bro. And we became like hella close friends. And everybody just stayed the course, and that's really hard to do when you don't know what's coming next or if it's gonna work. Is stay in the course, staying true. We wanted to throw parties, and we threw parties for 10 fucking years. Oh. And it just started to bleed into the fucking real industry. So we got nights at different clubs, Bar West, High Water, so many different clubs. Like I'm leaving out hella. And Segway, now we at Tiger and have some ownership in there, and now nobody could take that from us. If we fell, we fell, We fell forward, but we gonna fail though. But it's been an interesting journey for real. Because we were throwing parties, and me, myself, I was still moving this way in comedy, but they were still supporting me. It's just, and then we tried to throw comedy shows. It's been crazy here. It's been interesting for sure.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah. That's cool. Those are my guys. That's my team for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that whole aspect of it too, is like how Hoff is handling media events.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
What I really feel
it's crazy.
And it's all the same people in the events and the media
Well, shit, we've done it all forever. We had to promote the party, so now you got the promotion side of it. Now that, we segue to the internet, because radio and everything is gone. We used to do guerrilla marketing where we would create these long 5-minute videos of us out in the street promoting the party, old footage of parties and stuff. Like one time we dropped a banner from the side of a freaking garage that had the whole party on it. It was illegal at the time. It was not doing shit that was legal. And now we've gotten older, and we all worn these different hats of doing certain things in the media, and we have this page, and we started garnishing followers to it, and now we just transferred that over to this medium. So Robbie fucking lays out the groundwork. I come in with the content. Eddie's coming in with the content. Tony comes in with the photoshopping and any type of assets we made, imagery or whatever. And then Damien's always been the groundwork, man. If we need the city to let us do something, Damien really gets in there and gets it handled. So it's an interesting way that it's meshed into this other medium. But you got to pay the bills through that way too, for real.
That's a fact. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I keep hearing that name Damien pop up, so I'm gonna have to see.
You're gonna have to talk.
Let
me tell you right now. You want to talk business?
Yeah.
Talk with Damien.
Word?
He got 2 different businesses. He's one of the founders of Yellow Bit Groups, which is they basically help businesses get started. They help make the aesthetic for them. They take it from ground to next level. And then he also is a founder for Hall of Fame, which is one of the biggest, and a lot of people don't know Damien. He's the behind the scene guy, but he be out, little guy. He be out, but Talk with him, bro. He has a lot to tell you. He will break it down for real.
Clip that because we've been looking like we're getting a couple sponsorship offers. We're gonna show that as an example.
Yeah,
like, you see how he just plugged that? That could be you. Like he could be right there.
That's fire. That's fire.
That's what's up, though, man. Yeah, I love seeing it come together. I feel like with us right now, like we're in the beginning phases of starting to build out a team and everything, and it's like you guys have a really nice blueprint that's laid out for sure.
Got you. Absolutely, I appreciate that for real. But you guys are doing something that I respect. Like, it's hard to like start something, but you guys are seeing it through, and then like you said, you guys are progressing every time I'm seeing it. Like, I caught myself on the radar from the Stevie episode, Stevie and Eddie, then watching the one with Tony. I'm like, you guys have got something here. You guys got something, and I say this from the bottom of my heart: just stick with it, bro. Yeah. It might not feel like it's going somewhere, but people are seeing it, and that's the biggest thing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it at the moment because you're in it, but then you look back and then you hear people like saying and telling us, and then you're like, oh, okay, we got it. You know, we just got to keep going. You know, consistency is also key,
that's the main key. People just got to see you keep doing it, and then they become fans. You know what I mean? They're really still doing it, and a lot of people fall out, bro. I started with so many different comedians out here in the city. Like, there was my class of comedians that started together, and now I'm like the last one still doing it from my era. And there's new comedians coming up, and, you know, it's just that consistency. Yeah. People got to believe that you're really about it, because so many people are pretenders, you know what I'm saying? Man. They'll start some shit, and they just want that quick clout. Like, I'm doing it. You respect me. I'm gonna have the biggest podcast ever. It's like, you ain't gonna do that shit in a year, bro. It's just not. And if you get it in a year, it's gonna fizzle out in a year. It's
like, that's just the same way you build it up. I think, Robert, you were telling us about, like, what's the statistic again? About, like...
people who start podcasts, they don't last out more than 30 episodes.
Yeah, like 30 episodes is the filter.
90% rate, and people who consistently stick with it, mostly 10%. Like, you know, any type of business or anything else, it's like, you know, maybe 10%. You just gotta grind it out.
Yes, sir.
It's like a numbers game for real. Like, I look at it like this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just keep doing stuff. Like, it just kind of makes sense. Like,
yes,
we
bro.
having fun. Like, everybody, like, it's a community building project. Like, that's all it is. It's like, everybody got a story to tell.
Yes.
You know, like, the podcast isn't one of those things where we're like, oh, let's go be the next this or the next that. It's literally just like, bro, as you said, Sacramento's a dope city. Yeah. You know, there's other dope cities in the world.
So many stories here to be told.
So many stories.
So many stories to be told, bro. From older to younger, people coming up, everybody got a story. And it's about, you know, just giving them the opportunity to tell it. And I think you guys are the right outlet for that show.
And I'm saying, like, it's cool for me too, not knowing nobody out here, and then like,
perfect.
Like, bro, what?
Because you learning them as you, and you know, having the right people on there is gonna legitimize you guys. That's really key. But just, bro, you guys are just.
I think that's what you just pointed out is like what I honestly enjoy about the whole process is actually getting to know the people more at a deeper level, you know, and relating to them and building that stronger relationship with those people.
Hell yeah.
I think it's different than like typical podcasts because it's like, well, like you have like the Nelt Boys, they'll call up Shaq and like he'll come in for an episode. They're not seeing him again for a year. No. After this, probably see you tonight.
We gonna for sure going out tomorrow night after my show. Like, we're gonna run into each other.
I love that portion of it. Yeah, like it's a being in the city, having that kind of town vibe, like, and then having a podcast in between it, you know, kind of like what we were discussing, the idea of like turning this into like a community pod, or it's for everybody type thing. I think that shit would be hard as hell.
I for sure think that's a great idea. I think the dope thing with what you guys are going to be doing, and just like the age difference, is like you guys are going to come up with the people you guys are interviewing, and people are gonna fucking strike hot. Like, there's so many people that's been in my life that is hit, like Keith Powers. Like, this is a person I lived with when I was in LA. Yeah. And now he's on the cover of Essence today. Like,
I seen that nigga. I told a couple shorties, I was like, yo, unfollow him. I can't have you.
I make jokes about him all the time. Like, Keith's not welcome to any party I'm having, bro. Like, you were an LA guy now, my boy. But just like, you guys are telling these stories from the beginning, and consistency, like you're saying, somebody's gonna take off and you guys are gonna have that first story. And like, that's important. That shit is so important, bro. For real.
100% tracking the journey, man. And it's like, you know, everybody working on their stuff in the background too. Like, bro is launching like his he has Status, so the sparkling wine brand that he's like a part of. Yeah. Like, they're launching out in Vegas.
Let's go. So, that's fire.
It's crazy to like really highlight the fact that it might not happen today, it might not happen next year.
That's the story of my life. Story of my life, bro.
You said it was a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, and it's finally like burning, and even I'm just thankful for the journey, because like I got to have a good time with it. Who knows what the next 5 years are gonna be, but I know I have no give up in me. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing compared to my peers. Is like I'm delusional as fuck, but it's like an important piece of it to be like, I believe in myself. I know I'm destined to be doing something different, so there is no plan B. Like, I'm always gonna be doing this, no matter if I'm just doing it for shits and gigs in my 40s. I enjoy making people laugh from the bottom of my heart, so it's nothing else I'm gonna be doing.
And the money follows that.
And the money's there. Look, bro, I'm a hustler. I know how to pimp anything that I'm doing out. Anything, I make content to where like now I make content for other businesses for a really nice chunk of change, because that trust is there, the consistency is there. It's like I'm the money that I make from comedy is just like fun money. Like I make money from so much other shit. You know what I'm saying? The comedy is like, I'm like, damn, you guys are paying me this much to do this? That's just like, it's crazy. So and I think it's another big thing with us with HOF. We never really made it about the money. It's always been like, let's create something that we can fucking stand on. Like Robbie and Tony and them love calling themselves founders, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's something you can stand on. Like I created something in this world. I'm leaving an impact. So I want to do the same with my comedy for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was telling them the same thing. Like, at first, I came into the city, and I don't know how people was gonna feel about me saying this, but I don't really have respect for nobody off rip. Like, I'm kind of in the opposite.
You from Show Me State. You from St. Louis?
I'm from New York. So
he's like, yo, bro, you doing a lot of that. Show me about it.
It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, the only thing I respect about myself is my journey and like the hard work that I put in. Anytime I brag, it's come from like the work. Like I'm not talking about, oh, I'm this or that. It's like, nah, this is what I've done, and this was the result, and this is what I'm proud of, right? Yes, and when I started learning that about people out here, bro, and I'm like listening to Robbie overcoming what he overcame, Tony changing his life up,
and they legit.
You feel me?
Changed. I known these men when they wasn't on their shit. And like when I see them today, it's completely different. I'm sure they would say the same about me. Like I'm a crazy ass boy.
How would you compare the 20s to the 30s, man?
Bro, I don't even know if you know. I got Hall of Fame tatted across my stomach. I did this 2 days before we threw our music festival. Like, I was a wild boy. And you know now that I'm enjoying my 30s so much more than my 20s, because I was just, you fumbling, you trying to just do so much, and I didn't feel like I knew who I was, and now I'm like, I know who I am, I've established, but all that shit was part of the legacy, so I never take it for granted. I never look back at like, damn, I shouldn't have did it. The wild times was part of the history, so I get to talk about that on stage. It's a good thing, for real.
How do you feel like when you performing and then you see yourself watch those, as you said, those like up and downs, but then you're like, hold on, how do you like experiment to make it more different from other comedians?
Man, I honestly, and people, they gonna kill me for that, I really don't watch other comedy. I don't watch other people do stand up. Even when I'm like at a show, if it's like somebody I really fuck with, I'll watch a little bit of their set. But I try not to watch too much other stuff, because I mimic shit if I start watching shit, and I don't want to be like that. I want to be myself.
I'll say the same. Yeah. I'm a poet too.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
And as me, like, I don't like to read other people's poetry because then I'm locked into how they build that.
You get influenced for real. It's
and then I'm like, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah,
cool,
I feel the same way about comedy. It's like I want to be authentically me, and I keep harking on it because it's true. It's like I've always known I can make people laugh, so it's like, why would I need to go really check out some other shit? So my way of keeping it fresh and keeping it, like, as you asked, keeping it uniquely myself is like, genuinely, I just try to go live my life and go do crazy shit, and then I come back and talk about it on stage. And that's literally my formula. Go do something, come back and talk about it.
You know what's funny? You seen Alex Hormozy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he dropped a video about something like that, where he was saying, like, everybody asked him, how did he grow so quickly on social media? How does he always have content ideas? He's like, I wake up, I do something, and I talk about it.
That's it. That's it.
He's like, if you don't have that cycle, you're not gonna be able to keep up with me. If your life isn't a reflection of who you, I love this conversation, because I love to get into this. I hate when people are not keeping their online life reflective of their
For
offline
real,
life. Like,
bro.
we are not actors,
No,
bro. Like,
it's a lot of actors though. It's a lot of it's a lot of actors just in this city, and then you see them and you're like, bro, you are so turned down, but you like lit on the internet and shit. Like, that's like, oh, bro, how hard is that to keep up with? You know what I'm
man,
saying?
like you have to fabricate your life each
Yeah.
day. I gotta wake up and I make sure I'm downtown by 6 a.m. so I can post I'm on a walk.
It's like, bro,
Like,
it's not really you. And I never wanted to do that either. Like going even with the internet shit, like people like I get so irritated when I go on somebody's page and they got like fake followers, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why did you buy followers? like it would be so much more real if you just kept your like 300 engaged with you. Like you got this outlandish number, you get it. It's like
somebody had thrown shade at me. And it's somebody from your crew too. It's somebody from your crew. But Brody came up to me and was like, "Oh yeah, you and your weak ass pod." I was like, "That's cool, bro. Like I appreciate you watching."
Wait, who?
I ain't gonna throw that. It's not even an issue. But he was like, "You and your weak ass pod." I'm like, "I appreciate you watching because like at the end of the day, we have 500. Like thank you guys for the 500. By the way,
500. Think about that, bro. If there's 500 people in here right now. It's a lot of motherfuckers. It's a lot of people.
We're getting our likes on our videos. We're getting our views on our videos, and then you can go to a page and it'd be like 10,000 followers, and y'all got 15 people liking
They ain't even, and they're not engaged. You just got people there.
Just people.
And it's like I'd rather keep my little following who fuck with me, and you know that's real. Because when you go off the internet, those are the people that I'm gonna mess with in real life. You know what I'm saying?
When you have a show,
yes.
you can actually put up your
Tap in
tickets
that,
and know,
100%.
like, yeah, bro, like that. It's a completely different thing.
And it's like building that shit. Let that shit come to you. Like you guys are doing something, man. Just stick the course, bro. For real, for real.
I appreciate that, man. I know. I was talking about
We gonna talk about whoever that was after podcast. I gotta hear that. If I gotta slap somebody, bro, I've been working out this year.
It's a crazy story.
That's a crazy thing to say to somebody.
Bro,
that's a crazy thing to say to somebody.
Like, when
Don't tell me though.
like, bro,
I'm drinking too much tequila. It's not good.
It's
bro,
like,
and that's the thing. I was in the club.
that's a crazy thing to walk up and say to somebody in the club.
I'm like, bro, you must be smoking right now,
Right.
bro.
Oh,
But
you lit.
it's like it's crazy to me because at the end of the day, bro, we don't. Do we ever go out and go say, oh, I want to make sure this person thinks that we're popping, this person thinks that it's like it doesn't matter.
That shit does
if
not
nobody
matter.
followed the podcast,
Nah.
we would have still been doing it.
100%.
Oh, maybe not. But.
No, look, bro. Joe Rogan's, man, we could talk about that shit all day. We'll talk about that off pod, but just stay the course, bro. Fuck what anybody's saying. A lot of people talk shit because it comes from insecurities in themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're watching something happen and they ain't doing something. So that shit, it burns, it hurts. And the way you want to strike them is to try to belittle it. And it's like, all right, they're going to watch the one with me on there and they're going to be like, damn, it ain't that little no more.
It's going up and like, bro, I think you mentioned a great point. Like people lost perspective because of social media. They don't
crazy.
understand what 500 people in the room.
They don't
like.
think about that, bro.
Like,
That's a lot of people. You can make a living off 1,000 people following you if you get them people to pay you $1 a month. You didn't supplement your paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like
what you just said right now is what MK.
That's his perspective. That's his thing. That's all,
his
bro.
thing. He says if I can get $1 from each person, I'm okay.
I'm good. And you ain't. That's my motto. It's like I don't want to ask too much of people. I just want you to want to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? And if I give you something that you feel the need to, I'm a rock with that. That's better than like, oh, I gotta have this chain on. I gotta have the new this, that, and the third. Bro, I'm regular. I show up in the club in some Crocs, chilling. Like I want to look, bro. I'm a comfortable man. I'm not no fashion model. You know what I mean? It's real authentic. And
I had to bring back my drip because I saw AJ taking over.
AJ, look, that's his thing though. You know what I'm saying? Nah, y'all niggas is clear, bro. I'm out the game. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you settled up. You already
chilling,
bagged, so you're good. Nah, yeah, it's the key, man. Like putting that into perspective, bro, and like, you know, I was watching a lot of your videos too, and what I've seen is the progression in them. Where at first it's like you see these videos, they come up, and you're like, okay, cool. Yeah. Like I'm gonna just watch it because it's you.
Yeah.
But then I started watching it because it was the topics, and I was like, oh, now you know you're hitting something.
Real.
Like you know what I mean? Like,
it's intentional too.
Yeah.
For real.
And the timing and everything behind it, I was like, okay. Well,
bro, that shout out to the pandemic. Before the pandemic was making zero content, and then you get locked in a fucking house for a year. We were like, we gonna start making content. And I just feel like it's just another form, a medium of just making people laugh. So it's like, oh, I can do this, and You find your fucking voice, you find your style, and that's it.
And they're not gonna keep, and it falls into that thing that we talked about earlier too. That's your day-to-day life.
That's
They
it.
can't keep up with you. It's what you do.
I'm gonna outpace you every day. I feel the same way about our page. Like, you're not gonna be able to keep up with that because we truly love this city, and so we're gonna always have content to put out because we're tapped in with the coffee people to the Roseville people. Like, we really love this
You
shit.
just spoke to Sammy Hart when you said coffee. This right here, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, when I was actually first exploring Sacramento,
It's a lot of coffee spots.
that's what I do.
Got you.
I visit each unique coffee shop.
Yes, sir.
That's over there. And
That's crazy. Me and Robbie were just talking about making a video about how many different coffee spots there are, and also about like the different types of people that you meet at these coffee spots here.
So my good homie Asher, he has a cafe in San Francisco, and he tells me, he's like, hey, you're in Sacramento, check out these coffee shops.
Yeah.
And let me know how they are. So I literally just went to the Mill, went to Camellia's,
Gotcha.
I went to Mika, I went to like all these little unique spots, and I'm like, okay. And then what I'll do, spend just straight 1 week at these coffee shops.
That's
Just go
fire.
there.
That's in depth right there.
And then
They get to pay you for that shit for real, bro.
I'll just stay there, try the coffee, see the environment, do my work
Press
and
the
that
vibe,
stuff.
yeah.
And then me just kept showing up there. You see who, build a relationship with those people
For sure.
that work there,
Yeah.
the owners. You get to know them as well.
Hell yeah.
And then now I just go in. It's like, oh, okay, it's just seeing another part of the family over here. You
that's
know,
fire,
you just go in,
dude.
like, hey,
that's
how you
that's
doing?
love right there. I can hear it. Like, that's
They're just
real.
catching up with you. Oh, how was your day? How was
Yeah.
your week? You know, for Camellia's, like
Yeah.
for me, that's my top.
That's the
for
top
here.
tier
Yeah.
right there for you. Hell yeah.
Because just they have a good team. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they make
And
you feel welcome when you go in there, all the whole vibe.
definitely. And
Yeah.
Camellia's like the national or the state flower too.
Oh, damn.
And the first roastery coffee that opened in Sacramento was named Camellia's.
Bro, can we like sponsors? Do you see this? This is perfect.
Come on, man, tap in with it. baby.
I'm there pretty much every week. You guys know me.
Nah, I always admired that about you, bro, because I don't have that. Like, Tony had talked about it. It's like a lot of people, they see how people come off originally, and they don't know. Like, behind all that, I got crippling social anxiety. Like, before I talk to people, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna ruin that.
Standoffish,
day,
yeah,
you
for
know what
sure,
I mean?
yeah.
And it's not even like I'm trying to be like that, but like I am a lot. We were talking about this upstairs, which I want to kind of transition into. But being in your own world, you know what I mean?
For
Just
sure.
kind of like I'm so zoned in that sometimes I'm like too zoned in almost, isolating myself on that path for real.
But it's great that you're challenging yourself and actually getting out there and stretching. You know, I say stretching bias because you're just stretching your limits of like what you really, what you don't feel comfortable with, and that's where the growth comes from. You know, so.
So when you say you're in your own world, that's the same concept as like for me as a designer. You get stuck into designing the same design, but you always want to step away.
Yeah.
Like you want to get away, not even work for it for 2 days, because to remind yourself that was actually the true objective that was designing.
Damn, I like that. That's
Well,
that's
yeah, this is Mr. Abstraction.
I like
he
that.
He know how to hit you with them concepts, right?
So it's always good to step away. And for me, when I step away, it's like going to this coffee shop, sitting down, just talking
that
to
makes
those
total
normal
sense.
people, or just working on your thing, and then you're open, and you're hearing what people are working on or talking about, and you're like, hey, that's interesting. What are you working on? And that's how I got my graphic designing people
That's
at
how you met
first.
me.
You know,
That's crazy.
exactly.
I broke out me to open up. So
That's how I met like Duran, and Duran got me to the COO, and that's how I pretty much met Robert and you. You know,
That's how life happened. That shit's fire, bro.
Yeah.
That's just fire.
I think you had a very similar thing because we were. I actually remember it now. We were at Tiger, and I think you had came up to me like, "Bro, I fuck with your fit." And I was like, "All right, good looks, my dog." And I was like, "I fuck with your fit too." You're like, "All right, bet, let's tap in."
That's bro, like that don't happen. I want to bring that back where people can just, especially between men, especially between black men, it's like we got to be able to like love each other and like compliments and not even just stopping at compliments, just like appreciating each other and not being fearful or worrisome. Like I want any man around me to feel confident in himself and know that like, all right, I'm with somebody I can trust, and that little olive branch extended. It was authentic. I meant that shit.
And that's real. That's exactly the way you could put it. It's olive branch. Because otherwise, I'm like,
You're like, I'm not finna come bring that to you. But fellas, I do hate to be that guy, but I do gotta cut a little short.
No, that's good. That's good.
I feel like I want to do this again with y'all. This conversation is flowing.
You want to say a joke before you leave?
Nah, you gotta pay for that shit.
Yeah, we have 45, so it's a good timing for that anyways,
Right.
man. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming on, bro. I feel like
Thank you
it's
guys for
some
having me,
gems
man.
here. I think we should run a Hoff series. Just try to get the breakdown of everybody.
Get
and
Damien next.
bring it all
Get coming
together.
for you, bro.
Yeah.
For real. Hell yeah.
All right, yo. Any last words before you get out of here?
Nah, man. Follow me at Mars.Parker, Instagram. All socials the same. I hope you guys come enjoy a live sometime. Thank you guys for having me, man.
For sure, brother.
Yes, sir.
My man.
Thanks
My
for
man.
coming to the company.
Fucking
It's a
Josh,
cute,
you
yo.